Sicilian defense, open, Scheveningen variation, 6.b3. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was a well-fought middle game that black got the better of. Sharp games are frequently the result of starting with the king's pawn, since it dominates the center and frees up the bishop and queen on the light squares. The c-pawn in the Sicilian defense controls the d4 square. Nf3 moves the knight toward the center in anticipation of a pawn push on d4, where it will be ready to retake the piece if black captures on d4. The dark squared bishop has a fresh opening created by e6, and the queen has a new diagonal created by e6. d4 offers to trade the more important central d4 pawn for the c5 pawn in exchange for more control of the center and quick development. Cx d4 provides black two key pawns while giving white only one. Nx d4 recaptures the pawn and activates the knight in return for having one central pawn versus black's two central pawns. Nf6 advances the knight and engages in an attack on the exposed e4 pawn. Nc3 protects the e4 pawn and puts pressure on the d5 square. d6 prevents an e5 pawn push and allows the light squared bishop to develop. b3 develops the bishop toward the center and supports the knight on d4. By growing a bishop from its initial square, this activates it. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling kingside tends to be safer because the king is further from the center. This activates a queen by developing it off of its starting square. This hits in the middle and prevents the opponent from gaining ground. The knight is thus brought to safety. Forcing the opponent to double their pawns helps create weaknesses. This reveals an attack on a pawn. It is the last book move. By doing this, a knight moves out of its beginning square and into the action. It is ideal. Castling develops a rook, while also getting the king to safety. By castling to the opposite side of the board as the opponent, the game will tend to be more double-edged. It is best. This develops a rook off its starting square, getting it into the action. This threatens to double the pawns in front of the king. It is best. This misses an opportunity to increase a bishop's scope by moving it to a better square. This allows the opponent to double the pawns in front of the king. It is a mistake. That was a great move and very hard to find. This is the only move that works. It is brilliant. Recaptures. It is ideal. This poses a threat to an outpost manned by a knight. It is incorrect. While not the greatest course of action, this is an intriguing alternative. That's good. The pawn is now passed because it can no longer be opposed as it attempts to promote by other pieces. It is ideal. The queen is therefore moved to safety. It is ideal. This loses a chance to imply that winning a pawn is possible. It is incorrect. Backs off. It is ideal. This prevents an assault on a pawn that may have been taken. That's good. This overlooks an opportunity to capture a free pawn. This allows the opponent to take an open file with a rook. It is an inaccuracy. Recaptures. This threatens to pin a bishop. It is best. This develops a bishop off its starting square, getting it into the action. This is the only good move. This prevents the opponent from being able to pin a bishop. It is a great move. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was a well-fought middle game that black got the better of. This attacks a bishop, winning a tempo when it moves away. It is best. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was a well-fought middle game that black got the better of.